I just want to know like who the target audience for the album cover is supposed to be. I haven't posted in a month and I come back to talk about Sabrina Carpenter's new album cover. I just want to make this clear and preface and say I am not here to hate on her as a person or say this or that about her, because I don't want to turn something that's supposed to be in defense of women into something to attack a woman for. If you haven't seen her album cover, I'll put a picture of it up so you know what I'm referencing to. But the reason I ask, like, who is this target audience supposed to be? The women that watch her are not liking what they're seeing because, you know, for obvious reasons, and no one should have to explain why this image is offensive. And then the men that see it, it's like, first of all, if they were listening to her music, this isn't making them listen to her anymore. And on top of that, there might be men who look at it, regardless of what the deeper meaning is behind the image, they don't care. Men do not care, or I shouldn't say all men, but a lot of men do not care about whatever deeper, woke, satire, like, imagery is going on. Like, they just see what they see and they take it at face value. And I think that's where like the problem comes in, because I know a lot of people are saying like, well, you just don't understand, like it's because of this and this so-and-so reasons, which she can have her reasons for having the album cover the way that it is. There's no problem. Like, I'm not saying she just made this for fun because whatever. She obviously has her reasons, and maybe it is a deeper meaning, maybe it is satire, maybe it is like to convey something, some message that she really wants to spread. But it's not other people's problem that it's not being communicated effectively if there is a deeper meaning. Like the fact that everyone is just speculating what they think is like the message is not very good. You know what I mean? Like, she should come out and say, in my opinion, it would be better for her to come out and say, this is why I chose the album cover to be this way, because now everybody's speaking on her behalf, number one, maybe misconstruing what she meant, etc., etc. So even just from like that marketing perspective, it's like, yes, it's good for publicity, but at least to me, I'm a firm believer that not all publicity is good publicity. So even if people are talking about your new album, number one, I do think they would have been talking about your new album regardless. She's had such an amazing year. She's super talented. Like, I don't think she needs to go to these extents to keep her name in the public. And then again, if there is a deeper message and you want to convey some view about our greater society, like, you need to say that, you know what I mean? Like, you need to like tell people like, this is why I chose this, or it's gonna be a part of this bigger concept. Like, I get that. It just needs to be said. I've heard a lot of different perspectives on the album cover. You know, some people saying like, you're, you know, looking into it too much, it's not that deep, like, it's, God forbid, a woman actually enjoys being freaky and enjoys being degraded, which is its own subject. Like, should we allow this public discourse? Because yes, you can have your preferences, there's no problem with having your preferences, but when you do it in a public way, such as that album cover, again, you're not showing your preferences to, for example, your individual partner who, you know, is keeping that information private. When you make something like this, your album cover, yeah, it's not going to a trusted individual. It's going into the hands of sleazy men who are going to be misconstruing your imagery. And at the end of the day, it's like, my question would be to Sabrina is like, do you want that? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with men using an image of you to push their own agendas? I just don't think that it's an appropriate platform to make that statement known. I also wanted to talk about briefly, I know a lot of people, including my friends, have said the reason they don't like Sabrina Carpenter is because she makes music that's all about sex. She only sings about sex. Those are all of her biggest songs. And if you didn't see, I think she responded to like those general claims and said like, essentially, those are the songs that you guys make famous. Those are the songs that you guys want. So clearly, the public is obsessed with sex, not me. That was what she was saying, which I understand. Again, I get that. But in my opinion, and again, this whole video is my opinion, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt, and if you have your own, feel free to comment. But you know that sex sells. Everybody knows that sex sells. Why should you diminish your artistry as a singer to that because that's what's gonna sell? In my opinion, like, it's a lot harder to be a very good, distinguished artist when you're not solely so focused on selling sex. You don't have to fall into that trap of making music solely about sex because that's what's gonna get you streams and get you views and whatever. I don't know. I think all music to some degree, because music is about life and sex is a part of life. I'm not saying that music should be devoid of anything of that matter, okay? Like Ariana and Beyonce, for example, they have songs about sex too. Like most artists do, because it's a part of life. But your music doesn't need to be solely focused on that because you know that it's gonna sell. Like that shouldn't be the primary reason for producing that music. So like I love Sabrina's songs and they are bangers and they are fun to sing to, but I don't think it's very fair to say like, oh well, it's not that I'm obsessed with sex, it's like the public's obsessed with sex. But you don't have to pander to the public because you know that's what's gonna sell. Nobody really knows, to be honest, like at this point, what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe she's being pushed into that direction and she doesn't want to be in that direction, and you know, her company or whatever, her label, sees that it's selling and they just keep forcing her to keep making songs of this nature when she doesn't want to. Nobody knows. And then on top of that, it's like, again, you can't force everybody to have your views on feminism and what's right and wrong. You just can't. Like, if Sabrina's view is that this album cover and singing about sex and etc has a positive impact, you can't really convince her that she's wrong about that. We all have our opinions on what's right and wrong, but at the same time, it's fair for also everybody else to have opinions on the work that she's putting out, and on top of that, use it as a basis for, okay, is this an artist that I want to listen to or not? Is this an artist I want to support or not? If you see her album cover and for you really do believe that that's setting women back and you don't like it, don't listen to her music. Like, it's really that simple. Don't support something you don't want to support. You don't have to believe it or not, you don't have to get online and start hating on her and saying da 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 because of what she's doing. Like, in fact, it'd actually be probably in your best interest to pay her as least attention as possible and bring at least attention to it as possible. I think sometimes people don't like an artist and they like see things like this and they want to use it as like an excuse to like start hating them and like whatever. You don't have to. And then on the other side, if you do like her music and if you are in support of this album cover and you think like it's cunt, I like it, oh yeah, like let women be freaks, etc, you're free to go on and support and stream and do whatever. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Everything that I just said is just what I think, to be honest. And you know, I also don't think it's terrible for opinions to change. Maybe one day I'm like, you know what? I really don't like that album cover. It's disgusting. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? I mess with it. I get the vision now. I understand it. It would be nice, again, like I said, if we had some sort of guidance of like, where is she going with this? But I don't think it's a crime to make music about sex. But there's a way to do it tastefully. There's a way to not overdo it. This is my opinion. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.